All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing on this morning? I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DNP Speaks. I do apologize. I had to change and revert the time to 8:30 this morning, but I hope that you all are doing well. Please do me a favor. Please share this with someone. I'm grateful to be here with you on today. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. You want to know why? Because we are alive. We're Most of us are doing well. Even if you're not having the greatest day, you will have a great day. You want to know why? Because today is a day that we have to just push ourselves, right? We got to motivate ourselves. Sometimes we have to encourage ourselves and we have to encourage our families to keep going forward. So, if you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself properly. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DNP Speaks. I am an empowerment speaker. I'm a board certified Christian counselor, and I am a family restoration specialist, which means I come to rebuild your family dynamic. I do these usually at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, and on Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. Listen, I want to share this with you. It's not going to be long, but I want to share this with you today. How to really build trust or even rebuild trust in your children. Your children, let me make this very clear. This is an announcement if you didn't get this before. Your children will disappoint you. Plain and simple. They will disappoint you. They will say something, they will do something, they will be a part of something, they will find themselves in either trouble or legal trouble. They'll do something that is going to be disappointing, and you're going to be shocked, or whatever that can happen. It's going to happen, unfortunately, because they have inquiring minds, or they think they know it all, or they think they have all of it together, right? So they're going to disappoint you. But the thing that I really want to really share this morning is you got to rebuild that trust in that child. You have to rebuild that trust with you and him, or you and her together. You have to have conversations that are difficult, that are tough. There are certain things that they have to prove to you, because they can say, I'm sorry all day, and it's great that they're sorrowful, or they have uh, compassion of how you feel about their situation, or what they said or what they did. But if we can be honest, when a person loses trust in an individual, it's hard to get back. It's even harder to get the trust back when it's your own child, when it's your own flesh and blood. But we have to do our best to get and gain and regain and rebuild that trust in that child again, because that child has taken it upon themselves to do something that was contrary to what you have taught them, contrary to how they were raised. So there has to be some consequences. There's going to have to be some certain things that are taken away. And that might bring additional conflict. That might bring additional anger and frustration from that child or grandchild. But you have to let them know, in order for me to start trusting you again, there are some stipulations, there are some rules, there's some regulations, there's some things that you have to follow. See, why am I bringing this up today? It is very important for you to have trust in your child, because you're not going to be around your child throughout the whole day. Because guess what? You have to go to work. Guess what? They have to attend school, right? Or you have work and you have school and you have things that you're doing, especially if you have other kids. You have to be able to build that trust, because what that child did, they lost that access of trust. And because trust has been taken away, conversations and moments and memories have been taken away as well. And because that has been taken away as well, the communication is not that great, right? The togetherness is not that great. The family time, it's non-existent at times because they have disappointed you so much. And then there's anger and there's frustration and there is animosity towards that child. We might not want to admit it, but it's there. We have to do our best to rebuild that trust. But the trust has to be, can't be one sided. It has to be trust that what you're giving your child, the information that you're giving your child, the things that he or she has to follow, you have to trust that your conversation and what you mean and what you say, that they're taking that in. What you mean and what you say, that they're knowing that you're serious, right? And the child has to respect and honor what you're saying enough to implement what you have told him or her to do. Again, you might say, what does this have to do with family morning transformation? What does this have to do with my family? Again, if your child has lost your trust, how can you trust him or her to to follow up when you're not around? How do you know that they're making the right decisions? How do you know if they're doing it? You don't. You have to be able to build that trust back up. And that child has to do all that they can to get your trust back. It has to be some consistency, it has to be some heartfelt changes and maneuvers and pivots. There has to be something that has to be done by the parent, but mostly the child. And because trust has been decreased, it brings that rift. We have to do a better job, I call it a very better job. So it's not good English, but it fits a better job, a better, very, very better job. It's just something that I made up, right? But to be honest and be serious, trust is a big thing in a family. I don't know how I would have turned out if I would have lost my trust. There are certain things I have done as a child that was not pleasing to my parents. And it took some time. It took over a month to really gain their trust in me because I thought I was getting away. And a lot of kids think that they're getting away with things because you don't see them doing it. But in the matter of fact, you might not see them do it, but they got to know that you're always watching, you're always concerned. And because you're always concerned, you're watching their very movements. Not like you're stalking them or nothing, but you're paying attention to what they're doing. Again, we have to be able to build trust in our child when they disappoint us. We have to be able to build trust in our child when they have, as my mother say, went to the left side or they went to the right. That means they went on their own direction and now they've gotten themselves in trouble. And a lot of families are dealing with young men and even young women that have gotten themselves in trouble. And the trust in the house is non existent. The trust in the relationship in the family is non existent. And because the trust is not there, the family is not fully there. It's not fully strong like it should be. So there are some of you that are saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal. I forgave him," but you might have forgave him or you might have forgave her, but that's still in the back of your mind that they disappointed you, and you don't really trust them to stay home by themselves. You don't really trust them when they go to school. You don't really trust their friends that they hang around, or the girlfriend or the boyfriend that they hang around. You don't trust what they're sending on their cell phones. And the reason why I'm bringing this out this morning is we have to do a better job of connecting to our kids, but also learning them as well. We got to build trust, not in a fake way just to see what's on their phone, to be real and there and present. because we got to build the trust back in the family. Got to build the trust back in your relationship. So for your family to thrive, for your family to go forward, just imagine for a moment. Don't you want your family to change? Don't you want your family to grow? Don't you want your family to be what it's supposed to be? Just visualize. Just imagine what your family could be, what your relationship with your child or grandchild can be if and when you start to work on this trust factor. Because if you don't have trust, even in the marriage, if you don't have trust, you have nothing. But if you don't have trust in your child, there's nothing really there. You got to have trust. So I want you to visualize what it can be if your family got the help that they needed. Imagine what your relationship with your child can be if you had 100% trust in them. Imagine what and visualize what things could look like. What is your vision for your family? What is the vision for your child or children? And if you have that vision in your head, and then you can imagine what your family can be, I want you to click on the link. I want you to go to my bio. I want you to click on the link and I want you to sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call. And I want to do my very best to help you and your family build that trust back up with your child, or even the child building their trust in you. It goes both ways. But we're talking today about mothers and fathers and grandparents and guardians building their trust back up into their child. And if that's you, I want you to click on the link now, sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call. In my program, we will do any and everything to make sure not only are we building trust in your family again, but we are revamping and rebuilding your family dynamic. Listen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Listen, tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. sharp. Thank you so much for your time. Also, catch me this Thursday at 9 p.m. for Speak Out Loud Radio. And it's going to be a great, great time. New topic just for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.